Yes, people, welcome back to another stream, man. It's an emergency situation because bids have been made for Ederson. We thought it was all chill. We thought he was staying, and now bids have been made. The bid is absolutely pathetic. We'll discuss that in more detail in just a second. City are playing with our feelings on Twitter, posting videos. It's all gone off, mate, this afternoon. Loads of stuff to get into. Bevel's joining me. Before we get into it, man, let's get some shout-outs in the chat. Big up to Robert, big up to Marshy Boy, Canada's in the building, Dash, KDB, Quinton, George, Sai, Oxen's here as well. Big up to Elia. Blue Chand is in the building. Big up to Imran as well. Rustin is gutted right now. Big up to SB as well. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Guys, do me a favor, man. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Bevel, man. It's been a bit of a roller coaster these last couple of days. First of all, we get it from City Report, put out news saying it's not happening. Now a bid has been made, but 25 million quid, bro. Sorry for swearing, yeah, but are they taking the piss, man? 25 million. It's a joke, man.
It's laughable, isn't it? It's I think it's one of them where they've just tried to test their luck a little bit. If we've got anything about ourselves, we'll tell them not a chance. I think for Ederson, someone of his caliber, you need to be looking at triple that.
I agree. I mean, I think 50 million minimum. Like, this is the thing, right? Everyone keeps on saying to me, yeah, but LB is 31. And I just don't get it. I don't get why people keep on going down this road of, like, acting as if he's old. He's a goalkeeper. They play nowadays until they're 36, 37. Like, minimum, you're going to get 4 years from him. Minimum, you're getting 4 years for him, bro. You're going to keep him to at least 30, 35, 36, right? So 50 mil is the best goalkeeper in the world with the ball at his feet. Yeah. 25 mil is an absolute joke. Now, the good news is City is sort of getting the news out there to suggest that they're not going to accept anything less than 40 mil. That's euros, by the way, which is about 35 mil. That's still, in my opinion, pathetic, but that is what it is, better than 25 mil. But it's just so low. But it's a bit weird, man, because like I say, we're getting like contradictory information. Obviously, City Report putting out news that it's not on. Now we're getting the news. Let me show you guys. Hopefully this doesn't crash the thing. Yeah, we're chilling. This is the news that came out earlier on. Breaking. Al Nassr's initial proposal to Man City for Ederson is worth 30 million euros. I keep on having to convert that in my head. 30 million euros. Man City will not accept it and want more than 50 million euros to allow the goalkeeper to leave. This is the bad bit, though. Ederson has already agreed to the Saudi Pro League move. So it sounds to me like he's probably accepted personal terms there as well, because he's not going to agree to go unless he's accepted personal terms. What's 50 million euros, man?
It's about 46, 47 million, something like that.
42. That's still low for me, bro. I don't know if the chat think that's not low, but I think that is low. 42 million quid for Ederson, mate. And I know people keep on saying this as well and say, oh, yeah, but LB, that's straight profit because we've had him for so long. It's like got zero book value type thing. So if you're selling for 42 mil, that's 42 million pound profit. This is why I've said it. This is why I said it for so long, bro. Football is becoming a trading game. Fans are more interested about making profits and shit than just keeping the actual players. Why do I care? Why do I care if it's straight profit? I'm being told by people like Stefan, who knows this stuff when it comes to money, that City have no problem with money, that we can go out there now and spend £200 million and be fine on FFP. So why are people telling me that it's straight profit? I don't care. I don't care if it's straight profit. It don't make no difference to me.
Yeah, what I'd say on that is if we're talking of straight profit, since Pep has taken over at City, just from our academy players alone, we've sold £500 million worth of academy players.
Yeah, that's mad.
Like £500 million in academy players since Pep took over. Now, that's all straight up profit.
Straight up.
We shouldn't. We've got to look at the value of the player and what he is to us, rather than just looking at trying to make a quick buck on someone, because we don't need the money. Yeah. And the only way I could ever see us selling is if there's a player that they have in mind which is willing to come to us that replaces what he does. And in my opinion, there's nobody out there that does what he does.
You seen that Diogo Costa? What do you reckon of him?
He's a good player, but again, I've not seen enough of him to say that he can play the ball out like.
You know, my problem with that is, though, the problem with Diogo Costa, right, is that we will spend more money buying Diogo Costa than what we'll get for Ederson. So, like, not only will we be downgrading on Ederson, which, by the way, I don't know why fans have a problem with this year. Like I said the other day, if we get rid of Ederson, well, whoever's in goal next year will be a downgrade. Now, it might not be a big downgrade depending on who you get, but it will be a downgrade. And some fans don't want to accept it's a downgrade. It's a downgrade. If you get rid of Ederson, you're downgraded. This is what I'm saying. Like, I don't support a bank. I support a football club. I don't care if it's straight profit or not. Now, obviously, if you've got FFP problems and you need to sell them, maybe you have to sort of change your opinion a little bit. But City don't have FFP problems right now. Like, we're being told that we can spend hundreds of millions of quid. So why are fans getting gassed about £42 million straight profit? You're not getting any of it, boys. You're not getting a dividend. I always say this. You support a football club, man. You should want the best players at your football club. And right now, we do not need to sell. So the price should be the price. The price should be, to be honest, like £50 million, minimum. I still think we're getting had off a little bit, but 50 million quid minimum. Anything less than that is poor, in my opinion. And you're going to downgrade. And if you go and buy another goalkeeper because you don't trust Ortega as your number one, you're going to be spending more money on the new goalkeeper that you're going to get for Ederson. And he's probably going to be worse than Ederson. He will be worse than Ederson. So this is what, for me, I am completely against this deal. Obviously, if Ederson is like knocking on the door saying, I want out, then you're going to have to let him go. But the price is the price. The club need to dictate that. And this is what I have a little bit of a problem, Bevo, yeah? This is where I have a little bit of a problem with this whole, if a player wants to leave, let him go. That's all well and good, man. But the price has to be the right price.
Yeah.
We're not a charity, mate. You know what I mean? You can't just, knock on the door, we want to leave. All right, no problem. We'll sort you out, mate. No, the price is the price, mate. I'm not getting had off anymore. Not just going to let people go for the sake of it. So for me, £50 million, absolute bare minimum if we're going to let him go. And even then, I'd be like, I still think that's low, to be honest with you. Like, what price? Like, so say Ederson was like, I want to leave. And you say, okay, you can leave then, but this is the price. What's the minimum price that you would accept?
I wouldn't accept anything less than 60 minimum.
That's pounds, yeah?
Yeah. For me, there is no goalkeeper on the market that can do what he does with the experience that he has. You know, but don't get me wrong, there might be a Brazilian 19-year-old goalkeeper that's absolutely amazing with his feet, but he hasn't got the experience that Ederson has either. So, you know, there has to be some kind of balance. Yeah, I get that the player might not be too happy and might want to leave. And it's a bit of a sticky situation because that could have an effect in the dressing room. But I just think something needs to be resolved and needs to be resolved fast.
I know, I agree. You know what made me laugh, bro? Yeah. Someone commented on my post on Twitter and put, we sold James Trafford for 20 million and he'd never even played a Premier League game.
Yeah.
I like, what are you doing, bro? Like, Saudi, man, come on, cough up. We know you've got the cash. If you want the player, pay the cash, mate. We sold James Trafford for 20 million quid, who never even played one single Premier League game. And you're trying to bid 25 million for Ederson, one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Like, what are you smoking, boys? You know what I mean? Yeah. Come on, man. If you want the player, get the cash up, man. We know you got the cash. And I know people always say, yeah, like, Saudi don't spend money like on the actual transfers itself. That's not necessarily true, man. Like, if you actually look at, they don't spend a lot all the time, but it's not true that they don't spend money at all. Look, they spent 90 for Neymar. They spent 60 for Malcolm. Yeah, they spent 60 for this Otavio guy, 55 for Ruben Neves, 52 for Mitrovic. So, look, they spent 46 mil on Fabinho, guys. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not being funny here, but they do spend money. Like, I'm not asking for crazy cash, bro. I'm asking for £50 million sterling. It probably puts him second highest transfer. But that's well worth it if they want the player. I think this is in my opinion, I think it's a bargain. I really do. You're getting one of the best goalkeepers in the world for 50 mil who can play in that league for the next 5, 6, 7 years. Like, come on, man. Stop messing around.
I think Ederson also needs to have a look at it, and because you still see players from the Saudi league, you know, still taking part internationally. You know, like you've got Amr at Laporte, but He could probably kiss bye to his #1 spot in Brazil.
Well, he's not #1 though, is it, for Brazil?
It's weird. It's like they change sort of every other game.
Yeah.
But he's still quite, for a goalkeeper, he's still young. He's still got at least 2 more contracts in him, both for 2-3-year contracts.
Yeah, bro, he's 31, man. Like, the people need to stop acting like he's like 35. He's not. He's 31. Manuel Neuer's still playing. He's 38.
Yeah.
You get me? So, like, come on, man. Like, people need to get with the times. These goalkeepers now, they play till the 40, some of these. You know what I mean? So, I just think it's a real poor bid. And City needs to, hold firm here. We could, listen, if we want to say, Ederson, yeah, you can go, no problem. You got to do what you do with Bernardo and say, this is the price. Don't knock on our door unless you bring us the money. This is the money that we want. And by the way, not being funny, yeah, but let's not pretend like Saudi don't have money. Yeah, we know the Saudis got the money. If you want a player, pay the cash. We're a charity. Yeah, and we need to hold firm on this because there's no glossing over this. If Ederson leaves, we are downgrading in that position for next season. I don't want to hear no one say, no, we're not. Ortega is not as good as Ederson. Is he slightly better at shot stopping? Maybe. He's not as good at kicking the ball. Diogo Costa, we don't know what that's going to be. Whoever we get as #1 next year, if it's not Ederson, is a downgrade. So if we're downgrading, we better as well get the biggest cash we can possibly get for this guy and not let him go on the cheap. Do you know what I mean?
I think the other thing that we need to consider as well is if you look game by game, how many times do we need to call upon our goalkeeper to actually make a save? Obviously, don't get me wrong, like in the bigger games like Liverpool and Arsenal and, games like that, fair enough. But for 80 to 75 to 80% of Premier League games, our goalkeeper probably makes 2-3 saves tops in a game.
Facts.
We have Ederson not for his shot stopping, but because we need him as part of the back four. Because 90% of the time during a game, he's acting like a defender.
Mm-hmm.
He's with that back line, just making passes round, and occasionally he might have to make a save or two.
Mm-hmm.
But we bring in Ortega. Yeah, he might prevent a few more goals, than what Ederson does, but he's not going to assist as many goals for a start.
Mm-hmm.
The team at the back are going to be a man short because he can't play the ball like Ederson plays.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think it would be a really bad move. Bad move.
Yeah, no, I agree. Got a couple of things I want to show you guys. Before I do, let me come to some of these messages. Big up to Anakin, says, yes, LB, do you think England should go for Pep or Ancelotti as next manager? I think we need a winner to manage the winners in the team. England FA should go for Pep Guardiola. They should go all out for Pep Guardiola as an English FA thing. I obviously don't want that to happen. But yeah, if we keep going down this English manager route, we ain't winning shit, mate. So yeah, we need a winner, bro. We need a winner. Facts. LB says he's clearly leaving, but City just keep posting him. Yeah, I'm going to bring that up in just a second, bro, because it's a bit interesting timing, to say the least. And SB says, get the likes to 115, guys. Come on, man. Hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. Right, check this out, yeah? City have just posted this. Hands. What do you make of this, man? Hey, what's going on here, man? I don't like this. I feel like we're being played.
It's sending mixed signals, isn't it?
Yeah, he looked happy as well. This is a good point from Mac, man. I seen it on today, it being uploaded. He looked really happy walking into the thing. What's going on here, man? I feel like, as fans sometimes, I do feel like sometimes as fans we get like taken for mugs, you know what I mean? Like 1 minute, he's leaving, he's going, they're bid, he's going Saudi. City are now posting stuff on Twitter saying safe hands, and I'm just like, what are we meant to believe, man?
What I would say on it is nothing's come out from the club to suggest that he's leaving. This could potentially be his agent trying to stir things up a little bit to try and get a new deal across the line.
Yeah, well, I suggested this the other day on the show with Martin and Tone. As like, do we think potentially this is just one big bluff from Ederson's camp? Because we all know yeah, we all know that Ederson is massively underpaid relative to other goalkeepers in Europe right now. In fact, over the world, like he's not even in the top 13, 14 highest paid goalkeepers in the world, which is quite frankly concerning that we've let it get to that point anyway, in my opinion. And the question is, what are City willing to put him on? Because for me, and people have different opinions. And by the way, I'm not saying that you're wrong if you have a different opinion to me here, because it's, everyone's entitled to their own opinion on this. But I think he's worthy of 250, 300. And I can justify it because my opinion is that I think he's so important to the way we play. I think he's so important to building up from the back. I don't believe he's as bad at shot stopping as people make out. And for me, as I've said, whoever you get is going to be a downgrade, in my personal opinion. Therefore, in my opinion, it's just worth giving him the cash. Now, some other people don't think he's worth that much money and think he's only worth 200 or whatever. Fair dues. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But for me, I just give him the cash. I get him one of the top highest paid players at the club. I think he deserves it. He's been underpaid for years anyway, if you're being honest. So I just give him the cash, bro. And maybe this is what it's about. Maybe City are only offering him 200 or 150 or 160, and he's like, nah, you're still miles off. I don't know, but that could be a case. It could just be a big game of poker.
Yeah. What I'd say on it is, it's typically goalkeepers are paid less than sort of outfield players anyway. But what I'd say is, have a look at the likes of, Neuer and Alisson and, these kind of goalkeepers, see what they're getting paid. And he should be on the same level as them, at least.
I completely agree. If we want to go through the list again, guys, just to show you this list for people that have not already seen it. I have shown this a few times, or some of you might have seen it already. But look at the list of goalkeepers. This is 16 highest paid goalkeepers in the world, guys. Yeah, and Ederson is not on the list. So you can see maybe why he's a little bit... look at some of the names, guys. Aaron Ramsdale is a bench player, and he gets paid more than him. Jordan Pickford, Kepa, Yassine Bonu, don't even know who that guy is. Wojciech Chesney, mate, is on 200k a week. This is insane. So he's probably looking at this list with his agent. By the way, his agent wants to fucking take some flack for this. You know what I mean? Because maybe City should have been a little bit more proactive, in my opinion, in getting this sorted earlier and getting him boosted up. Maybe his agent needs to take a little bit of slack for this, because he's let this happen. Look at this, man. You got Alfonso Areola. Being funny, how is Areola? Areola's not a bad goalkeeper, but how is Areola at West Ham getting paid more than Ederson?
Yeah,
it's stupid, man. So we need to put him on the wages, and this is why I think I'm completely justified, Brave. Yeah, in saying Ederson 250 would put him the fourth highest goalkeeper in the world. He'd still be behind Courtois, Oblak, and Neuer. I think he needs that. Where's what's he called? Alisson. Alisson's only on 150.
Yeah,
he's probably a bit underpaid there based off the list as well. But I think anywhere between 200 upwards, I think is what we need to offer. And maybe we're not offering that. Maybe we're offering him 150, which is. And by the way, if we are offering him 150, I think he's right to turn it down.
If we offer him 150, he'd be the joint highest paid goalkeeper in the Premier League.
Correct, but could you not argue as well that probably Alisson's underpaid there?
Yeah. No, I agree. Yes, I think we need to be looking at, like you say, 200 for Ederson.
If you put him on 200, is the fifth highest paid goalkeeper in the world. I agree. I think 200 upwards. If you put him at 200 as the minimum, that puts him at the fifth highest paid goalkeeper in the world. And obviously, as you go up that list, clearly, obviously, he can come fourth, third. I don't think we're going to offer him 350, right? You know what I mean? But it's look at that. Yadal block, 350 quid. But that's mad, isn't it? Yeah, he's a good goalkeeper. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's crazy, man. And you know what as well? Where do they get their money from? These Atletico Madrid. Diogo Simeone is the highest paid manager in the world as well. You know that?
Is he actually?
Yeah, the highest paid manager. He has £30 million a year. £30 million a year for Diogo Simeone, and then they'll give Jan Oblak 350k. Where have they got their cash?
Wow.
But yeah, listen.
Cheers for Rodri.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. But yeah, listen, for me, I'm just looking at this now going, we got to. If we're going to sell him, yeah, we've got to get the right cash. We can't just be giving players away on the cheap, man. And I know people will say, yeah, but what about if he wants to leave? I don't care, mate. Like, at the end of the day, we need to do what we did with Bernardo and say, listen, we're happy for you to leave, but this is the price. Like, we can't just be giving you away for the cheap. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with it. Let's see what the guys are saying at City Report, because obviously these were the guys that were that broke this last time. So let's have a look what Nabil said. So has Al Nassr revived their interest in a matter of days then, or if the interest never ended in the first place? This guy questioning Nabil obviously is at City Report. Nabil responds and put, interest is dead at that valuation. It'll take for Al Nassr to make it happen. Al Nassr do not have the money to do it. And then this guy says, I think Al Nassr have to sell someone as well to make it happen, with 8 foreign slots already filled up in their squad, unless the rules have changed in these days. So I guess the thing is how high are Al Nassr willing to go? I would still be surprised if Ederson leaves, bro, because for me, I just think that opening bid is derisory, and the only way he leaves now, unless Al Nassr make a massive, basically double the price. And how many times have you ever seen that happen in football? Bids made and then they double the price. It's not going to happen. Or City really accept a low price, which I don't think they can do, man.
No,
I don't think they can do. I think fans will probably call them out if they accept anything less than 30 mil, 40 mil. Yeah, so I still think he's going to stay personally. And that tweet that City have put out then.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things to consider. I heard, I don't know how true it is, but I heard that Saudi put a spend cap on the amount that they're allowed to spend on buying players. I don't know how true that is.
Well, I heard that basically they're not necessarily a cap that I heard, but their strategy has changed. They want to be buying younger players. Like, you know how they signed Gabri Vega last year? They want to sign players like that rather than going for like Mahrez's and Ronaldo's, spending 20-30 million for someone who's going to be there for like 2 or 3 years, which is why I think they've not gone back in for Salah. Maybe they'll go for him next year when he's out of contract and get him on a free, but I think that's one of the reasons they're not going for Salah. Maybe a reason why they might not go for KDB as well, because they'd have to pay a lot of money. Because City and Liverpool are not going to let KDB and Salah go on a cheap, even though they've only got a year left on the contracts and they're old. So I think it's a change in strategy. Some people say, well, Ederson's 31. Yeah, but again, going back to the original point, he's a goalkeeper. So, 31, he could still be in that league in 7 years. If he joined tomorrow, he could still be playing in that league in 2031. And I won't be sitting here in 2031 going, I can't believe he's still in Saudi Arabia. That's mad. No, because he'll only be just over 40 or whatever, or not even that. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. But I don't know. Percentage wise, I am 65% certain that he'll stay.
Yeah, I'd probably say around that as well. And I think as sort of we get closer to the start of the season, we need to sort of be deterring it, because what we don't want to happen is get to like a week to go for the start of the new season. It's like, oh, we've sold Ederson. We need to either say pay up by X date, otherwise, no, not happening.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I agree. I think really clubs should do that with all the players. Like before the end of the season, Karl just walks in the dressing room and goes, right, lads, you're all going on holiday, Euros, whatever. Transfer window's opening. If you want to leave, first of all, tell us. And this is the date that you got to get out. After this date, I don't know what the date would be. 1st of August. You've got a month then to do the deal, like when the window's open. After the 1st of August, obviously depends who it is. If it's if it's Kovacic, then you can let him go with that. But obviously, like the main players, influential players, key players who are difficult to replace. Yeah, this is the date. After that date, boom. And I think you've seen that obviously with Newcastle done the release clause that was only active up until what was it, the 31st of June or something like that. Yeah. So they don't want to be in the same position. I think a lot of clubs are like that. But listen, that's the Ederson talk. Bevel, let me come on to the DM situation. Still no links to a DM, which is kind of mad, to be honest with you. Rodri obviously went off injured yesterday as well. where are you at now with the CDM position? Who do you want City to sign, and who do you think we're going to sign anyone? Because maybe we're not going to sign anyone. Not being linked with anyone.
Yeah, I've heard from a few streams. I think City seem to be playing the media a lot at the moment and sort of not letting on too much. I do believe that we are probably doing things in the background. Karl came out and said in his end of season review, he said there will be more coming in. And at this point, we already knew that we were having Savio and Echeverri, so nothing really has changed there. So something tells me we are going to sign somebody. Who it is, I don't know. I've heard loads of names floating around. I've heard, we're still looking at Bruno G, and that's not officially closed off yet. I've heard that we've got interest in João Neves, but reluctant to pay that fee. It's a bit of a tricky one. There's also been talks of Jacob Wright potentially being sort of a backup. Adam Wharton's name's been floating around. Olmo's been floating around. I think for me, I can't say I've seen him too much at club level, but for me, I think Zubamendi's probably a good backup for Rodri.
Well, he looked all right when he come off the bench yesterday, didn't he?
I really, really like the look of him. I think he looks brilliant, and him and Rodri must have some kind of understanding as well, and will have trained together and stuff. And yeah, I think for me, I'd like to see Zubamendi. Is that recency bias? Probably, because I watched him last night.
That's extreme recency bias.
But yeah, I think for what we're looking for, we're not going to go and spend 100 million on a backup to Rodri. It's just not going to happen.
Not if they're a backup, but if they're a player that can play alongside him, like we did with Gundogan, then we might do. So if you got Bruno G, because this is what I think sometimes people don't understand. If we got Bruno G, he wouldn't just be on the bench. I said this yesterday. He wouldn't just be on the bench and just playing 15, 20 games a season when Rodri can't play. He play with Rodri, and we rotate Rodri, Bruno, Foden, and KDB. It's a 4-man rotation. Sometimes KDB will be on the bench and we'll play Bruno, Rodri, and Foden. Sometimes we'll play Rodri, Foden, and KDB, and Bruno will be on. Sometimes we can actually rest Rodri. We could actually rest him. We could actually say to him, you know what? This game, we're at home, playing against a middle team table or team that you can rest you, and we'll just play Bruno G. Like, it's not that we're signing, and I know the internet and Twitter wouldn't understand this. If we sign Bruno G, they just automatically think he's going to be on the bench. It wouldn't. It rotate. And as well, guys, I said this yesterday. Are we honestly believing that Kevin De Bruyne's going to go this year injury-free? He's 34 years old, mate, and he's just had an 8-inch operation on his hamstring. Yeah, he will get injured. Mark my words, he will get injured this season. Yeah. He will. So you need another player. You know what I mean? And so for that situation, I'm confident we are going to sign someone. Obviously, we've still got Nunes and Kovacic. I think they are. Maybe we need to let one of those go to be able to bring someone in, because I think if you bring Bruno, let's say it's Bruno. I don't think we're getting Bruno, by the way. But you say it's Bruno. I think Nunes or Kovacic would have to leave. In my opinion, because I just don't think they're going to get the minutes. I mean, Nunes hardly played last year anyway. Imagine if Bruno comes in and Kovacic stays and Nunes stay. Nunes is never going to play. He'll probably get less than 1,000 minutes this season. So I think one of them need to leave. And of course, we've heard the rumours about Saudi being interested in Nunes. There doesn't seem to be anything materialising there. There was some rumours suggesting Kovacic might go to Galatasaray or Fenerbahce. Maybe that would happen and we'll keep Nunes. But I don't know, man. I mean, everyone's been saying we need to sell to buy, and at the moment, it is looking like that is the case.
What I would say is I've got a bit of a thought process on what I think we should do if we don't buy. So essentially, when you look at Rodri's position when we're on the attack, he doesn't play as a 6. He plays more of an 8. He's so high up the pitch. Now, the way that we compensated with that during the treble season is we had John Stones, which then sort of pushed up into the DM position to cover that area while Rodri was higher up the pitch. last season, because John Stones ultimately made of biscuits, we didn't really have that last year because he was always out injured. Yeah. And unfortunately, it's just not really something that Akanji can do. He can do everything else, but stepping into that DM position, just he can't do it. What I would say is, next season I could see Gvardiol playing as a centre back, and then when you have Rodri pushing up into that 8 position, then Gvardiol will then sit behind push up and sit just behind Rodri, but in front of the 3. Now, if you look at a lot of games that we played last season and where the goals came from, a lot of the goals came from the counter-attack where they were hoofing the ball straight over the top of the midfield. And the reason they were doing that is because there was that massive space in front of the defence where Rodri should have been.
Yeah.
You know, you look at the likes of Brentford, that Brentford goal when Ivan Toney sort of turned it and went one-on-one. So what I think that we have is, I think Gvardiol is more than capable of stepping into that 6 and playing just in front of the defence.
Yeah, you know what, bro? I can't lie. I don't think we're going to see that. I'd like to see it. No, and I think we might see it eventually. But I still think Gvardiol next season will predominantly be used on that left-hand side. I think, you know, obviously Pep Guardiola coming out last season in the press conference saying he's not ready to do it yet. I would be surprised if we've seen that happen this season. I think maybe the season after next, when he's got another season under his belt, maybe. But I still think he'll be used on that left-hand side. The question is, could we go back to what you just mentioned that we did 2 seasons ago when we won the treble, which was put John Stones back up? Because it was a shame, really, because obviously he had such a good season in the treble year, especially the ending. Last couple of months, he was absolutely phenomenal. And then you really wanted last year for him to kick on, and he just didn't kick on. His injuries were just constant, could never get any form going. And it was just sort of this John Stones that we know that we've had all throughout his career, which he just keeps on getting injured. He's obviously gone to the Euros
as well. He was,
well, I thought so as well. I mean, I was quite surprised to see. I mean, it might just be anti-City hate, but like quite a lot of people in the chat when I was on Saeed's stream today said he wasn't good, but I think he's had a good tournament, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He's obviously stayed fit. He looks fit. He looks sharp. You know, I'm hoping that he can stay fit and he can make a run, because if you remember that Ruben Diaz, John Stones partnership in that treble year, I mean, it was absolutely phenomenal. You know, they were blocking everything. They were superb at defending. Obviously, we didn't see it last year, and Ruben Diaz didn't really have a good year himself. He got better as the season went on, but the first 6 months or so, he wasn't that great, to be honest with you. And we didn't see John Stones hardly at all. So if you think about it that way, next season, this season obviously coming up, we could basically have another new defense, and maybe we'll go back to John Stones and Ruben Diaz, which you didn't really see. So I'm hopeful that can happen, because John Stones on his day is one of the best defenders in the world. So is Ruben Diaz, and I just feel that like we can keep them at the back with Gvardiol and probably Akanji at right back. Yeah. I think that, you know, I think we could be ready to go again. I do think we need another DM, but I'm you know what, mate, I'm really excited for this season. Get me a new DM, and I'm ready to go for it again, man. Especially with Savio coming in as well. Get me a new DM. You know, Walker probably not playing as much as he was last year. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think whatever happens, we need to see Akanji at right back. You know, Akanji anywhere on that back line, he always, you know, 8, 9 out of 10 performances. You know, don't get me wrong. When he first joined, there was a couple of sort of shaky moments with him, and you know, if you look at the Champions League final when he sort of didn't really know what to do, but I think a lot of that was because, you know, 1 week he was playing left back, the next game he was playing right back, then he was playing centre back. I think if you can lock him down to that right back position and say, look, that is your position, I think you're going to see just a whole different Akanji again.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I said it again this morning. I said it on Saeed's channel. I said, I start Akanji at right back, and Don wasn't having it. He said he can't play right back, which I think is a myth. I think he's done that a couple of times already.
It's myth that he's not fast. Akanji's rapid.
Yeah, and by the way, yeah, if you're talking about like agility and mobility, let's not act like Kyle Walker is pure mobile. He's fast, yeah, but he's like a king on a chessboard. He can go forward, back, left, and right, mate. The guy's got no diagonals at all. So it's not like mad agility. He's not got mad agility. I think Akanji is similar to that in the sense that like he probably is a bit better actually than Walker. So I think that's a bit of a myth. I think Akanji can do it. And you know what? I agree with you. I think with Akanji just needs to do the same shit all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's a player, and it's quite funny actually because in that first season that he joined us, he started quite well, and then as you said, Pep started moving him around. I remember the Seville game away, and that he played a different position, and he went through a little bit of a rough patch. Akanji's got to play the same position every time, and if he gets it, and I think actually as well, he also benefits from playing with the same players. I think he's just that type of guy. I think he's just, if you put him in a system and the system is the same system and you tell him to do the same thing every week, he'll be fine. Now, by the way, he has got a bozo in him. That's facts. He has definitely got a bozo moment in him. He got a bozo in the Champions League, got a bozo against Tottenham. Now, thankfully, neither of those bozos cost us, but he definitely has a mistake in him. But I just think over the season, it'll be good, and I'm more than happy to go into the season this year with Akanji at right back. Now the question is what happens with Walker, because I think if you do that, I think my suggestion basically, bro, was I'm telling Walker that I'm happy to keep you, but you're not my number one right back.
Yeah.
The problem is I don't think he accepts that. I think he'll then want to leave.
That's fine.
Do you buy another right back then?
Yeah. To be honest, I don't know, because I really, really like the four centre backs. I don't, because the thing is, what we're after is 1v1s. That, whether that be on the left or the right. As long as you look at Ake. Ake's not the fastest. He's not the most agile, but 1v1, no one gets past him.
Yeah. And
I think that as long as you can make sure that your man doesn't get past you, that's really all you need. Mm-hmm. For our style of play anyway, that it wouldn't work for all teams. But I think coming back to Akanji, he played that well that it was a bit of a downfall for him, because he played so well. Pep was like, "Well, we know you can play there. How good are you over here?" Rather than just keeping him in the position that he was playing well in.
Yeah.
And I think, to be honest, I'd like to see Rico get a few more game minutes next season.
Well, he got 1,600 minutes this year, right? 1,600 minutes, all competitions. I'm looking for that 2,000 to 2,500. That's the boost that I'm looking at. That's quite a significant increase. People will say that's not that much, but it is. Do you know what I mean? That's if you actually do it, if he gets top end, that's an extra 1,000 minutes. That's like an extra 12 full games.
Yeah. If you look at Rico and when Rico plays, has there been any time that you can say, "Oh, do you know what? It was your fault for that goal. No, you made a bit of a mistake there." He always seems.
I think so.
He always seems to just throw solid 7.5, 8 out of 10 performances, game after game. He keeps the ball. He distributes it well. He gets the odd goal now and again. I just think he looks like he's gonna be just top.
I like him, bro. I think when he's in that midfield, I think he's really good pushing in for the midfield. I would say the right back inverting, I'm not a massive fan of compared to the centre back. I think the centre back inverting is much better. I think it's much more natural than the right back, because there's too much shifting that has to go on when you lose the ball in transition, and it's the right back that I think it's sort of. And I always say this, right? I know it's only one goal, but it's the perfect example. Go back to the goal we conceded against Everton 2 years ago, right? Where Rico had inverted into midfield, and it was actually Rodri who gave a really poor ball away on the halfway line, and it was the guy. Was it Demari Gray? Was it him? I can't remember who it was. It was someone on the. Was it him? Yeah. He picked up the ball on the left hand side and he put it in the top bins, and that goal,
absolute worldie, wasn't it?
It was a worldie, but the goal came from when we lost the ball on the halfway line. The back line in the midfield, it was just a mess because it was the right back. You don't really see that as much when it's John Stones pushing in, because everyone's, the middle centre back's in the middle, the right back or the right side of centre back is covering the right, and the left side of centre back is covering the left. So you're nice and balanced. Having said that, you have to make a decision with Rico Lewis because ultimately he's probably not going to play too much in the midfield this year, based off the fact that, you've still at the moment got Foden, KDB, Kovacic, Nunes, and potentially one more. The only option really is to play him at right back and push him into the middle. So I think you're just going to have to deal with that. Ederson, how many times did he push into the midfield and we conceded a goal? It's a rare occurrence, but Rico Lewis for me, I'm happy to have Akanji and Rico as my two right backs. I think it's a slight risk. I can't lie, but I'm content with going into the season with those two as my right backs.
I know he hasn't got the height, but he's not going to need it in this. Could you see him playing that John Stones role? Playing at centre-back, but then going into sort of the DM position? I know he hasn't got the height, but if you look at it, he'll never actually really be playing centre-back.
Nah, I don't see that at all. No. It's more for set pieces, I reckon, that he won't do that. And
he won't be more for set pieces.
No, I think just keep it simple. Just keep him at the right back and invert him in. If you want to throw him in at midfield for the odd game here or there, then you can do that. But I think Akanji, Rico, happy with that.
Yeah.
Obviously, that means that Walker would leave. I think, for me, I wouldn't be too sad if he left.
It's a shame with Walker because on the pitch, he's been fantastic for us. He really has. But a captain really needs to set, lead by example. And I think there's been sort of a couple of times where he's not done that. It is a shame because, like I say, on the pitch, he's been fantastic for us.
Yeah. But obviously this season, he wasn't fantastic. This is the thing.
No. Yeah. I don't think any of us were really that good last season, if I'm honest. I think it was definitely, for us, it was a below par season in terms of quality.
Which is mad given that we won the league. But I agree. I mean, if you look at it, obviously Haaland wasn't as good as he was the year before. Bernardo, I didn't think was great. Obviously KDB was fantastic, but missed half the season. We didn't have a left winger for majority of it, and Grealish was, poor. Doku sort of did well towards the end, but was fairly average for the rest of the season. Kovacic, I thought, did well.
Yeah.
Rodri obviously done fantastic. Foden done well as well. And then the back line, John Stones never really got going. Diaz, I think it was a poor year for Diaz. Walker, poor. Akanji, absolutely fantastic. It really was fantastic. Top 3, top 4 players of the season last year. I thought Gvardiol was very good as well. And Ake was decent throughout the season.
Yeah.
So, it was pretty mad. When you go for it like that, I would have helped we'd win the league.
I think the problem is, though, is the expectation from us now is we've been so spoiled with how, well our players have played over the last sort of 3-4 years. If you look at Diaz, for example, we've just mentioned that he didn't have a great season last season. There was a stat that came out. He was the 9th most influential player across Europe's top 5 leagues last season.
Who's that?
Was Ruben Diaz.
What does that mean?
So I don't know term for term, but he was the 9th most influential player out of Europe's top 5 leagues last season. Phil Foden was 10th. But that's purely down to the standards that they set themselves and the expectations that they put on themselves. We expect a lot of them because of what they've done, and we've seen their abilities and what they can do. And if they have a slightly under par season, it's like, oh my God, they've been poor. But I think if you look at it on the face of it, I think in comparison to sort of how we expect footballers to play, I think they're quite good.
No, it's interesting, man. In that case, if Walker does leave, who should we give the captaincy to, man? I feel like we have this conversation every year, man. Listen, for me, here's my thinking, right? I'd love Kevin De Bruyne to have the captaincy because I think, for me, in my opinion, I think he's City's best player ever. And I think for him to lift the Premier League or the Champions League, hopefully one of the two, if not both, as the captain, that would be great. If I'm thinking legit, who do I actually want to be the captain in terms of who I think is the best captain? It would be Rodri or Diaz. And in my opinion, I would give it Diaz purely and simply because I feel that Rodri is already worked too hard, and I don't want to add any further stresses on him on the pitch. I just want him to focus on his game. I think he's already overworked. I'd give it Diaz. And actually, there is an argument that maybe Diaz might actually just be a better captain. He's a bit more of a leader than Rodri. But yeah, for me, it's between KDB as my sort of sentimental. KDB is my sentimental pick, yeah. As my actual pick, it would be Rodri or Diaz, probably Diaz.
Yeah. So I put a tweet out this week and was asked the same question. And I said I would just drop Walker altogether from any captaincy role. And my 5 captains would be Ruben Diaz as the captain, Rodri as the vice, and then I'd have KDB, Bernardo, and John Stones. Those would be my 5.
Hey, yo, what the fuck are you doing? This team, yeah. Oh, they've done it again. They've done it again, man. They're playing with us, bro. Look.
Oh, no.
1 minute ago, first day back, Ederson. Nah, I swear, if he goes now, it's got to be a new contract. They've tweeted about him twice. They've tweeted about him twice in the last 50 minutes.
They've got some kind of burner account that they're sort of keeping an eye on, and they have to be.
Bro, what are they doing? He's got to sign a new contract.
It's even the little laugh in the video as well.
What the hell, man? Honestly, this club plays with us, man. You know what I mean? Get a contract. Surely, I'm not being funny now, yeah, but surely that's a new contract. Am I being mad here? Surely they're signing a new. You can't tweet. Look, if I go to Twitter, yeah.
He's got 3 fingers down. It's a 3-year contract.
Right, look. 2 minutes ago, they tweet that. Obviously, they tweeted Rico. And then 55 minutes ago, they tweet Ederson again and put safe hands. What did they put on that one? First day back. Nah, it's got to be a new contract, man. You can't do that. I'm sorry, right? What? 2 hours ago, we get news from Fabrizio Romano that Al Nassr bid 25 million. And then within an hour, you put 2 tweets out, 2 tweets from the main account just about Ederson. I'm sorry. That has to be a new contract. I'm buzzing. I'm taking this as a new contract. There is no way they put this out if he's leaving. Surely not. Surely not, man.
Not to the extent of the PR that they're doing. You know,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Sure. I don't know, man. I think the contract's signed. There's no way you putting that out if he's leaving, man.
No.
Woo! That's good news.
That's okay.
Honestly, man. Get this Ederson contract signed, yeah? Get me a DM. Get Savio in. Boom, I'm ready to go again for 2024, 2025. You know what I mean? Get a 5 Pete. Absolutely insane.
It's mad you're even talking about that.
5p, I know, man. Yeah. It's actually wild, bro. It's actually wild. Like, let me have a look at some of these comments, man. Yo, big up to Lil Tim. Says Southgate was crap, but Phil is only a Pep player, Bray. Yeah, Southgate's horrendous, bro. Phil didn't have a great tournament, if we're being honest, but then nor did a lot of these players for England, mate. So for me, I'm looking at the manager. Big up Luke says we're nearly back, lads. Not long, bro. I can't wait, man. I cannot wait. How many sleeps is it now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh no, 9 sleeps. Our first game's on the 24th.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it Celtic or Barcelona?
Celtic. Yeah. Celtic, man. Celtic. Yeah, man. Big up to Luke, man. Big up to Luke. Big up to Tinsay. Says we need Neves more than we need Silva or Walker. Who's that? Neves.
That'll be that João Neves, won't it?
João Neves.
Yeah.
Listen, if we get him, I only crying because I just want someone. He wouldn't be my first choice, but at this moment in time, I just need someone, man. I just need someone. Yo, big up Yardman, man, says, big up LB, City fan straight out of Jamaica. Big up to you, bro. Big up, man. And Professional Cheeks says, Borith Crapgate was kept by the English FA because the English FA is part of the Matrix to keep England down. Hashtag Borith Matrix Gate out. It's actually true. You know what I did today, right, Bevel? I went on Wikipedia, yeah, and I looked at the list of managers England have had in like the last 10 years. It's shocking. It's actually shocking, mate, how crap the managers are that we get. Like, we are not a serious nation. We will not win anything until these people at the FA get fired, mate, because they just keep on hiring all these NPCs, man. You know what I mean? Like fucking Gareth Southgate, Roy Hodgson. Like, what are you doing, man? Go get me some legit managers. Once we're going Mourinho, Simeone, Pep, Klopp. You know what I mean? Someone like this, Ancelotti. Look at these guys, and you know what they're going to do now? They'll get someone like Graham. No, they'll probably sign Southgate. Southgate will stay, but if he does leave, they'll get like Graham Potter or Lee Carsley or someone like that. And it's just like, for God's sake, here we go again. You know, United have faced 20 shots and lost a game already. I cannot believe that they.
Who were the team that they were playing?
Rosenborg. Yeah, they lost 1-0, and apparently they got absolutely battered. I didn't watch the game, but yeah, they got cooked apparently, which is mad. Saeed reaction video. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Anything else you want to speak about, bro, before we wrap up, or what?
I think we've covered everything really. Obviously last night wasn't great. And I think England fans need to, I suppose, not sort of humble yourselves. Don't sort of get too riled up. It's an unfortunate thing. I wanted England to win. Didn't happen. Unfortunate. Yeah.
We ain't winning anything with that manager, bro. I said this for time. Yeah, we will not win anything with that manager in charge. He's won a Toulon tournament as a manager. He ain't going to go from winning a Toulon tournament to winning an international tournament. You know what I mean? This guy is not a winner. Yeah, I mean, it sounds harsh, but it's true. He's won a couple trophies as a player, yeah, and that's it. He's not a winner. So yeah, I've come to terms with it. We're not going to win anything with him as our manager, unless we fluke it and win it on pens or something like that. Yeah, I mean, like, but we ain't going to in 90 minutes.
It's just such a shame because attacking wise, if you look at the sort of other elite countries, I would probably say that we've got the best group of attackers probably out of any other team.
Yeah, we actually do. Yeah, we got some mad players, man, but we don't know how to actually play as a team.
Too defensive.
Yeah, and as well, bro, when you have a final and 5 players in the final are poor for England, you got to look at the manager. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with it. Right, I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that I've missed. Guys, in the chat, anything else you want us to speak about? City-wise, non-city-wise? Let us know if there's anything that you want us to go through before we wrap up. Make sure you guys have smashed a like on the stream as well if you've not done so already. I'm loading to Spain. I'll be in Bevel. You guys might as well join as well. There you go. It's the Matrix keeping England down. Facts. What do you guys expect from pre-season? I would like to see Jacob Wright be given a go at DM. Just in case we don't sign someone, I'd like to know what I'm getting from him on a consistent basis. I would have loved to have seen Savio, but he's not going to be there, which is, for me, very disappointing. I think he should have at least been there for 2 games. I don't know, man. I don't know. What are you saying?
I think you'll see a lot of experimenting from Pep. You see him at Wimbledon and he's doing all of these hand movements and stuff like that. And the guy never shuts off. And, I think you're going to see every year Pep does something different with that City team. Every single year. We never stay and play the same way year after year. So I think he'll probably be doing a lot of experimenting, see what works, see what doesn't work. And to give the youngsters a run out, I think, you'll see. I've heard that Gvardiol and Kovacic are going to be going over and training over there as well.
Yeah. When did they get knocked out? They got knocked
16?
out. Yeah. When did they get knocked out? They got knocked out. Yeah. Oh wait, they didn't even make out the group. Yeah, so they didn't even get out of the group, bro. According to this, they only got 2 points. So they've basically been chilling since the 24th of June.
Yeah,
that's 1, 2, 3 weeks today. So they've already had 3 weeks off. So yeah, I mean they might have like another couple of days. I reckon they'll probably just fly out with. I don't know when. Do you know when they go into America?
I've heard that some of the players are already out there, and I've spoken to a few sort of other streamers, and they've said that a lot of players that are sort of on their holidays and stuff will just meet them there. They won't go back to the CFA and all go together. They'll just meet there. Like you see pictures of Guardiola at the moment in New York. You know, is he going to travel back to the CFA and then, you know, go out again? He'll probably just stay there now until.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. So yeah, I mean, they're going to be there. Obviously, Oscar Bob, Haaland, a couple of others. So yeah,
Did
man,
you
I'm
see the
looking forward
video
to
of
it.
Haaland doing the meditation on the river?
Yeah, man.
He's got a big season coming up.
He just had 2 big seasons, bro.
Yeah.
How many goals has he scored for us now?
Oh, what was it? It was like, was it like 38 last season and then like?
Yeah, he's got 90 goals in all competitions for City.
Wow.
15 assists, 105 goals and assists in 98 games.
Jeez.
I need the goals to outweigh the games played, man. So we need a couple hat tricks to catch up. But yeah, him. So I got to say as well, Grealish. I've not really spoke about too much about Grealish. He has been on social media, his PR, his self promotion on his Instagram. I mean, I can't lie. He looks like he's putting in the work.
Yeah,
which I'm obviously glad to see. I'm happy that he's doing that and not just getting absolutely smashed. But it's a big year for Grealish. It really, really is, guys. Because I'm telling you now, I think if he has a bad year next year, I think he'll be gone. Because that's one good year in 4 years. Obviously, Doku as well. Because for me, Doku starts left wing over Grealish when we start this season. I think it's a big year for Grealish. I hope he does well because he's putting in the work. But it's a big one for him, mate. It's a big one.
Yeah, I said over on Martin's show before pre-season and anyone was even training, I said you'll see Jack Grealish go back to training early this season. After his first season at City, he didn't have the greatest first season, and then if you look at that summer, he spent pretty much most of the summer just out in Abu Dhabi training, and then that was the year of the treble. And then obviously the year that we won the treble, he spent pretty much most of his summer drinking, as he deserves. He played a massive part in that treble winning season, which I think had a knock-on effect of last season. I think last season, he had a lot of personal problems and injuries, but I think he also had the sort of the after effects of winning the treble.
Last year was just very stop-start for him. You know what I mean? He couldn't get going. He started the season off pretty poor. Then he was getting his injuries. He had a couple of things go off in his personal life, but ultimately, he had a bad year. It has to be said. So he needs to have a good year this year. He's putting in the work, which is good to see. Let's see how he gets on this season. So yeah, let's see how we get on there. Cancelo is back. Oh yeah, jeez.
Not for long, I hope.
Yeah, I don't see. It'll be another loan. He'll get loaned to Barca again.
We need to stop doing that. We need. I know.
What else can we do though, bro? What else can we do?
Yeah. I know we can't help it, and I know we have to loan him to get him out of the club, but
there's nothing we can do because Barcelona want Cancelo, right? But they're not that arsed if they don't get him. So they'll come to City and say, right, we'll loan Cancelo. And City will say, no more loans. We're not having it now. You want him, you got to pay him. Pay the money. How much do you want? 30 mil, 20 mil. And Barca will go, nah, you're all right. See you later. And then we're stuck with him. And it's just like, if we're paying his wages to sit on the bench, or he might not even be on the bench. Maybe he'll be with the academy if we really don't like him. And what can you do? I literally called it. The day this happened, I literally said he will be loaned out now for the rest of his contract. The best thing that we could do is try and just get big loan fees for him, and just how long has he been loaned now? When did he get loaned?
Well, he had a season at Bayern Munich, then he had a season at Barcelona, so this will be his third year.
So maybe we got $1 mil, $2 mil when he went to Bayern. Then hopefully we maybe got 4 or 5 when he went to Barca last year, because sometimes you do get those loan fees. You do it again this year, you're up to 11. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but that's the. You just got to accept that we've held an L here. It's the same thing that happened with Sancho at United. Luckily for United, Sancho and Ten Hag have had a meeting and they've sorted it all out for them. That's not going to happen with Cancelo and Pep. We just got to loan him. It is what it is. Like sometimes you've got to just take the L. So it is what it is.
I think possibly if we could, I think we should be looking at like reducing the fee. So say like, I don't know, we'll take 10 million for him, but then have a sell-on clause of like, I don't know, 20% or something. Yeah. Just to try and sort of get the money back that way. But that's just trying to get him out the door.
It's the same thing with the Phillips one. They're the two players, unfortunately, we've just been had off. Like, it is what it is. Like, we just got to accept the L. Like, it is what it is.
It's a shame because Cancelo's a fantastic footballer. It's just, his sort of ego let him down a little bit.
Yeah, no, facts. He's on his days, he's a top player. Cost us quite a few games in the big matches, but he won us a lot of games as well. So it's just his attitude and his ego. It's just too big in it, you know what I mean? And apparently he was not happy when Rico Lewis was getting played and he wasn't getting played. So that just shows you what it's about. Pep's not going to accept that. Listen, guys, we're going to wrap it up, man. Big up to K-Mac as well. Says, I'm not here for the stupid Southgate slander just because Pep is our manager. City fans think they know everything. It's bullshit. There is no one else taking that England job. Why would they? I think you could have got Mourinho, personally, bro. I genuinely think you could have got Mourinho before he went to Fenerbahce. He plays a similar negative style to Southgate, but actually wins stuff. And if we don't get a winner, go and get me someone who can play attractive football, because we're not winning anything with Southgate, and it's dull and it's boring. Like, I'd rather get someone who plays attractive football and still not win stuff, So
not getting the best out of the players either.
No, he's not. He's not getting the best out of the players. He's not getting the best out of the players, and it's horrific football. It's honestly, it's so bad to watch. So for me, I'd rather just get someone who plays good football and still not win anything. This is my point about Southgate, where people saying, "Oh yeah, but he's got you close." So it doesn't really matter if he got us close. We've not won anything. Like that's the truth. You know what I mean? So I'd rather go and honestly, I'd rather have Graham Potter and just get Graham Potter just to play attractive football and good football, attacking, and just say to him, listen, just go out there and get the players to play attacking football, score some goals and that. Yeah, we probably won't win anything. But we don't win anything now anyway. So for me, you either go for a winner who's not going to be English, so like a Mourinho, Simeone, someone like that, an Ancelotti, someone like that, yeah, or you go and get someone who can play really good, attractive football.
Yeah, and I think with the group of players, I don't want to sound like I'm being too harsh on him, but with that group of players, we should be making finals.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I agree.
We've got the best Premier League player this season. We've got Harry Kane, top goal scorer in the Bundesliga. We've got Jude Bellingham that's lit up La Liga. Just from those three alone, we should be making a final.
Yeah. No, I agree. Listen, it is an interest. I get it to a certain degree. Like, we've been crap for so long, and then he has come in and started taking us, further in the competitions. But ultimately, my point is now that I think he's taken us as far as he can. Like Brendan Rodgers at Liverpool. I think he's the Brendan Rodgers of England. I think he's done well. He's took us to a point, and I think we need to go and get a Jurgen Klopp. Maybe it is Jurgen Klopp. You can't. Why would you not want Jose? I mean, Jose Mourinho is won stuff. He won. He went to Roma that had not won a trophy in I think 30 years and won the Conference League. He's a winner. Is he maybe as good as he was maybe 10 years ago? Probably not. But it's not just him. There's other managers out there. All I want is, I'm not saying I want Mourinho. I'm just saying I want a winner. So Ancelotti, Jose, someone like that, or I want someone that plays good football. We have someone that plays dead football and that doesn't win. It's like the worst of the worst.
Southgate wasn't even proven at club level.
My point exactly, yeah. My point exactly. So listen, I get it. It's an interesting debate, but I would rather him leave. Listen, guys, gonna wrap it up, man. Big up to everyone for joining today. Big up to Bevo as well for joining. Bevo, he's got his own YouTube channel as well, so plug that, bro.
Yeah, so I've been on quite a few shows, and subsequently off the back of it, I've had a lot of people asking me to set up my own channel. So I'm in the middle of setting it up at the moment. Be good to go in pre-season. Got some really exciting stuff on the way. Some really good guests already lined up. And big shout out as well to City Luke, who's been helping me sort of with a few bits with it as well, and Martin and yourself and loads of other people. I could name loads of people that's helped me out. And if I've missed anyone out, I'm sorry. You know, I really appreciate everything that everyone's doing in the City Circle, and yeah, really looking forward to it.
Big up, man. Big up. Listen, guys, I'll be back tomorrow midday. Elbin's episode. Nobbins is coming on, and it's going to be a good chat, man. We're going to discuss some potential different systems, different tactics that we might see. I'm going to ask Nobbins about what he thinks about Bevel's suggestion. Does he think that maybe we could see Gvardiol in that middle? Don't know. We'll see. We're going to discuss different tactics because you know what? Pep changes it every year. It's highly unlikely that we're going to play the same as we did last year because he seems to change it every year. So yeah, midday tomorrow, man. It's going to be a big one. Guys, drop a like on the stream. Make sure you guys are subscribed. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.